Hello! Once upon a time, Richie and I talked about doing a segment for our new format that was me catching up on all the anime that I don't watch because I don't have as much time as I'd like to watch anime. We cleverly called it Catching Up with Katelyn. I don't know if we wanted to do it with a K, because that sounds cute, but also like it would drive me crazy, because that's not how you spell catching. I don't know. But I have a extra day off every other week, and the goal was to watch anime on those days. But then there were a few weeks where I just literally couldn't, and then it's also laundry day, which limits my watching time because I cannot fold laundry and read subtitles at the same time because I can't see them, and I don't understand enough Japanese to know what's going on. So it severely limits what is supposed to be anime binge day, and for that I apologize. But unfortunately, life is a thing, and it just gets in the way a lot, and but my first task was to catch up with Haikyu, and I have successfully watched the first season. I will be starting season 2 later today. I don't know how much of it I'll get watched, but I think rather than waiting until the seasons are done, I'll just record after I watch a little bit so that this is more regular instead of like, you know, the first one in April when it's a thing we have been talking about since like January. Oh, my bad. Anyway, so I finished the first season of Haikyu, and I wanted to mostly wanted for the first one to be that I watched a whole bunch. We're talking about Haikyu. Haikyu is like most sports anime, and it's more character-based than sports-based, which is good because like 3 years ago, Richie had me watch the first like 10 episodes, and I think that I was really biased because this is actually the first sports anime that I watched, and I was super biased against it because I don't like real-world men's volleyball, because real-world men's volleyball is, to me, exceedingly boring. Everybody's so strong that you can't return the pass, or not the pass, the serve, or the spike, or the hit, depends on where you are. You can't return it, or if you do, like, physics literally, like, it goes over the net for a free ball, which then gets spiked, and then that's it. There's, like, volleys are harder in men's volleyball than they are in women's volleyball. So I had this, like, this prejudice against it before I had watched it because I didn't realize that it wasn't going to be about the sport as much. Of course, there is some bits of sport, which made me want to play volleyball, and, like, the iron wall at Date Tech, like, blocking a spike, that's where it is. Blocking a spike is amazing. Like, it feels so good when you get, like, a nice block and they just, like, bounces straight back and you get a point from it. You're just, like, pumped on adrenaline. So, like, I definitely remember how these characters feel, and I don't know, maybe 3 years ago I wasn't as empathetic or something, but, like, now watching it this first season, and I just loved it. Like, all of the characters, the way they hang out and, like, interact with each other, it's so good. Like, Hinata is the embodiment of shonen, which is fine, and then Kageyama is so broody, and I just, like, and, like, Nishinoya is wonderful, and Tanaka is, I think Tanaka is my favorite, because he's just amazing. Tsuki bothers me, and who else is there? I love, names are hard. Daisuke? Is that the captain's name? I feel like they normally just call him Captain, and now I'm unsure. Oh no. Daichi! I was wrong. It's Daichi. I looked it up because I'm terrible. Daichi and Suga are awesome. I had a hard time with Oikawa for a while, but then I don't remember what happened exactly. I just suddenly decided that I actually love him, but also still hate him. Just, like, he's so funny. Like, I think it's the way he interacts with his teammate. It's plural. Teammates. He is this really well-rounded player, and he has dedicated his skill to bringing out everybody else's skill, which is not a small thing to do. Like, that is a super awesome thing to do. It's very nice of him. But he's just like, he's so antagonistic, and I just, like, he bothers me, but I love him, which is fine. And then, oh man, I think my favorite episode was the episode when they played Nekoma, and they all had their, like, character doppelgangers, because that was amazing. I just loved it. But yeah, it's so cute, and it's not about the sport. I was a little worried though, because it's a sports anime, so I don't know. I mean, maybe it's not even that it's a sports anime, it's that it's anime, and your underdog team always does the best, and they always win, and it doesn't really make that much sense. Cause, like, Hinata is, he's wonderful, but he's shit at receiving. Like, that's the main part in volleyball. Like, right, they talk about making sure it connects, and, like, that's totally true. Like, if you can't pass it to your setter so they can give you a toss. I had a hard time with terminology, side point. Anyway, if you can't get it to your setter, you can't get it to the offense. So the defense in volleyball, which is receiving or passing or they called it receiving. It's so important that it, like, you can't win if you can't pass. So if people like Hinata, who generally can't pass, you can't do that much. Speaking as somebody who couldn't pass, I was on the lowest team, and we were horrible until we learned how to pass. Anyway, and, like, if you had to deal with a float serve, like, what's-his-face, Suki's friend, that would... Man, I remember float serves. They're the worst. I mean, they're good if you have somebody on your team who can do it, but, like, they're a bitch to receive. Anyway, I was worried that despite all of their failings, because it's anime, they were going to win the tournament because that's, for the seniors. Do it for the seniors. Fortunately, that is not what happened. But I was worried that was going to be the case. And you could make a lot of episodes out of that, because you could end it around the same place. Didn't have to end with them losing, but it doesn't make sense for them to win. So I was hoping that they wouldn't win, but also, like, we'll go underdogs. So I was a little bit torn. But I do think that it turned out for the best. Kageyama started growing as a person and being a better person, really. He was sort of grouchy and amazing. I'm glad that that's not totally gone. But I just, the characters in this show are really, really wonderful. And I am excited for season 2, and I plan to watch a few episodes today. I don't know how many I'll get, and then I don't know when I will record next. Probably next time I have... Oh no, I could do it on Tuesday, because the next 2 weeks I have a super weird schedule coming up. No promises. This will probably be a less regular segment, just because life gets in the way, and I can't watch as much anime as I want to. But I love it, and I'm looking forward to watching more. And if you have a reasonable amount of suggestions, please let me know. I'm sure I can't watch all of them, so, like, maybe give me your top one. Just one. We'll start with one, and then when I get through that list, we can make another list together. But I'm gonna warn you, it's gonna take me a real long time to get through everything. So, thanks for listening to me ramble and rant, and just, if you haven't watched Haikyu for some reason, like me, you should go watch it. Speaking as somebody who was reserved and didn't want to watch it in the first place 3 years ago, it's a good show. It really is. So, that's what I think, and thanks for listening. I will not see you next time, but you will hear me. Bye!